Hey guys, oh my gosh, welcome to the cafe and thank you so much for visiting. Today is a special episode not only because it is our fourth episode, but because we have a guest. Guys, not only did this up and coming actor attend Fordham University, he was featured in Essence because he was literally accepted into the Hillman Grad Mentorship Lab, where he could hone in his skills under the guidance of some industry leading professionals. And if that's not enough for you, he was also in a play called On Sugarland Off Broadway at the New York Theater Workshop. Guys, I am so excited to introduce and to welcome Josh Fulton to the cafe. Hi, Josh.
Sarah,
Oh my gosh. First of all, light is on point. That's number one.
you know how to do it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for visiting the cafe. And you
Thanks
got
for
the
having me. I
food.
have my coffee just for you, just for you, cousin.
Period. First of all, I'm so excited. I love it. How's your day been?
You know what? My day's been really good. It's
Hmm.
been a lot of ups and downs, but I had a really beautiful conversation with my one of my really good friends, Chloe,
Okay.
yesterday, and
Hmm.
God really got me together in the best
Okay.
way.
Period.
And I
Oh my
literally
gosh.
feel, cousin, I literally feel the shift. So I'm just gonna walk with him.
Amen.
It's
Amen.
giving very that. How's your day?
My day has been really good. Quiet, which is
Okay.
different, but
Where are
quiet.
you right now? Okay.
It's very suburban, very like scenic and bucolic. So it's pretty. And we have a
Okay.
magnolia tree. So,
Come on, Magnolia Trees.
first of all,
Because
we might gotta talk
you know
about
the
that.
hallmark is going to be on.
No, literally. First of all, guys, let me tell you that there's going to be some shenanigans on this episode because
There's definitely going to be shenanigans.
it's going to be shenanigans. First of all, one of the biggest things that I talk about on my podcast is mental health and just the idea of constantly evolving and like helping ourselves get better mentally, physically, spiritually. So I just want to know like, you are an actor, you write things,
Hmm.
okay?
I
You
do.
do all the things, but I want to know when you have time to prioritize your mental health and how important that is for you.
It's so funny because I feel like my big lesson this year has been like, one, have fun, but
Hmm.
also there was just an imbalance in my life where, like, I've been in New York since I was 18, since I went to Fordham, and I've just been hustling, hustling, hustling. I want to be an
Hmm.
actor, I want to be a writer, and I've had some successes, and I've also had some big failures. And this year, it was like, Josh, you have committed so much of your time to your craft and trying to get your career really jump started, but you haven't really fed your, like, I don't know, recreational side. And like I wasn't
Hmm.
pointing at me. I realized, like, and it's little small things, and
Hmm.
these may seem trivial, but like I had not bought myself like clothes for me in so
Hmm.
long. And it was
Right.
like, Josh, you keep acting like you can't afford to buy. No, you just don't buy
Right.
things for
Right.
yourself.
Right.
You
Right.
don't, if it's not about your career, not investing in yourself, you're not working out as much as you could be, you're not seeing your friends as much as you could because you're telling yourself you can't do this, or I have to, and it is good to I love the Capricorn part of me. I love the part of me that's driven. It's one of the big reasons I'm going to get to where I want to go. But
Right.
I
Right.
really had to learn, like, one, you're not on anybody else's schedule, you're on your schedule, you're on God's schedule. It's God's timing, and
Okay.
it's so easy to get distracted
Hmm.
by, especially with social media, by what people have, what it looks like. First off, you don't even know what's going on in their life. It may look
Okay.
like
The
some,
real deal.
you don't know what they have gone through to get to that blessing. You don't know if it is
Listen,
a blessing. Things don't
talk
always,
about it.
things aren't always as they seem. So I've just really
Yes.
been like, all right, I was tired of being miserable, honestly. And don't get me wrong, I have a great life, I have a
Hmm.
lovely community. So
Hmm.
it's not like I'm walking in misery, but there'll just be, the lows will be low. The
Below.
lows will
Right.
be low. And
Right.
I just was like, I know the lows are going to come, but I don't want them to have to control the rest of my week or the rest of my month. Like, I don't want my lows to last as long. So
Mhm.
this year
Mhm.
has been a lot of like, Josh, what are your hobbies? Like I started making music with my friend Jamie, like just like, and it's the thing is I
No.
have no intention of being in the music industry, but it's like let me just feed another version of my creative stuff. I love to sing. Like my friend Jamie plays the piano. Like it was like
Mhm.
let me just like fill up my time. Let me just find the little bits of joy in life right now because for
Yes.
me, speaking for me, I was so used to being like, I'm going to be happy when I get there. I'm going to be happy when I get to this place. And it's like, no, you're not,
Mhm.
because no, you're not. You're going to be the same. It may be worse, honestly,
Right.
if you don't feed your mind, if you don't feed your spirit now, those things that we want in life, those big accomplishments should be the cherry on top of the cake, but they
Right.
can't be the whole cake.
Right. I
Your
love
inner
that.
life needs to be the
Mhm.
cake. At
Right.
least that's what I think I'm learning. So yeah, girl.
No, first of all, I absolutely love that because that was honestly one of the things I do at the beginning of the podcast is I have an espresso, I have green tea, and then and then I basically use those to encourage people. So an espresso is like a short word of encouragement. Green tea is like
Oh,
good news
okay.
because we have tea, but at the cafe it's healthy and it's uplifting tea.
Yes.
And then there's like a cappuccino, and it's basically like what was capping this week, like what tried to take you out but didn't. So,
Mm, yes.
so I go through like those things like at the beginning because I feel like we all have, like you were saying, these up and downs. Not everything is like a straight line
No,
at all.
at all.
Um, and one of my favorite segments, I think, is called Cold Drink because it's where I tell about a hard truth that I discovered about myself or the world.
Mm,
So I feel like you just did your cold drink.
yes, I did.
I feel like that was a cold drink for sure.
It definitely
So,
was.
in terms of an espresso, what is like a short word of encouragement that you can give to, you know, people that are younger than you or someone that is in your position who needs like a little encouragement?
Hmm. A
Mhm.
little espresso. I love that. That's so smart. I'm really trying to give a good one or just something,
I love the mindfulness. Go ahead.
yeah, the encouragement probably, you know what? I feel like God's been really putting in my spirit like keep going. Keep going no matter what it looks like. You really got to keep your eyes on whatever gives you strength to make it another day.
Mhm.
And it's so funny cuz like that I was telling you I was talking to my friend yesterday
Mhm.
and it was like often I've had these moments where I'm like I have all this passion, all this creative energy. Why
Mhm.
can't I use it? But it's like
Right.
that's the thing that's holding you on. Because
Mhm.
if I didn't have that, I don't know where I'd be right now. I
Right.
really don't. To keep it real, this is gonna be a very
Right.
honest podcast, y'all.
I
I
love it.
yeah, I
We're
know
here for
we're gonna have a real
authenticity,
conversation.
and I'm not
And
cutting nothing. So
yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
don't cut it unless I mess up or something. But my point is, yeah, I just keep going. Like stay the course. Really, I cannot stress enough. Like find the little things that bring you joy in life and be grateful for them. Big
Mhm.
things are gonna come, but life is really the little small things.
Love
So
it.
that's what I would encourage. Like, find things that you like. I don't care what anybody else says. Like, oh, this may be corny. This is why are you into that? Or why like a
Mhm.
black boy can't do that? Whatever it is, just like
Right.
find things that feed your spirit because you know when it feels good. You know when it feels right.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
my espresso.
First of all, and it was good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
that espresso was good. It had extra sugar in it too. I love it.
Thank you, girl.
First of all, yeah. And it's crazy because literally the podcast I just released yesterday was about celebrating little victories.
Mm-hmm.
And because I had such a hard time with that throughout my life. But recently, like just earning my driver's license, I was like making, thank you,
Cause
thank
I ain't
you.
even there yet, cousin.
But
That's a whole nother journey. We're not even gonna talk about that today. But I'm so
okay,
proud of you.
thank you. Thank you. I love you so much.
I love you too.
I love you. But like just that, like how you just like took the time to celebrate me, I was having a hard time celebrating myself. Yes, because I kept saying, oh, like I should have done it at 16, or look at all this and look at all that, comparing myself. And like you mentioned earlier, making my timeline everyone else's instead of what God made for me.
Exactly.
And like you just hit it like right on the head. And I think that's just important for our generation to like absorb. Like we can't all be on the world's timeline. Like
No.
it has to be tailor made.
Yeah.
Like
And I think
it,
that's what. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, go ahead.
Well, I think that's why society is so such a mess is I feel like for so long, for much too long, we have just been told this is what you got to do by this age, this is what you got to do
Mm,
by this age, and then now that we have social media, we can see what everybody is doing from
yes,
across the world. It
yes.
has us comparing, but the realty is every individual soul has a tailor made experience. If you walk that course, and I
Right,
promise you, it's going to be so much better than listen, maybe you weren't ready to clearly you weren't ready to get your license at 16 and
right,
for whatever reason you're ready now. So
right.
I really, and I'm also saying this to myself, I am not saying
Mhm.
I do not have this off because this is a daily
Right.
prayer for me. um anyway, that's it. Yeah.
I love it though. I love it though. I had to like learn that it is a daily thing. I think it's just a part of our one of our daily things that we have to remind ourselves so we're not caught up in what everyone else is doing, and that
Exactly.
it looks so cute and it looks so sweet, but you're not, like you said, you're not on the inside. You don't know what it took to get there or if it's even real. Like
Or
you
if it's, yeah. Hmm.
because some things it just don't be real sometimes.
A lot of the things aren't real.
It's just not. It's a for real virtual reality over here.
Yes.
But but um so the next thing I want to ask you is, what have you learned, or what has acting and writing taught you about life? Um
Mhm.
During my, like when I was learning to drive, one of the things that I had to watch and people kept constantly telling me was to like release the steering wheel and to not be so rigid. And I
Yeah.
realized that that was a pattern like throughout my life. Like I hold on really tightly to things and I
Yeah.
can be a little bit of a perfectionist. And
Same.
I had to like learn, like just like I'm being taught through driving, like I need to breathe sometimes. I need to just let things be. So
Yeah.
what has like your journey so far taught you about life?
Oh my God, so many things. One, if you really want it, you have to work for it, period. You may think some people got things quick and maybe they did, but it's just as quick to lose it. And
Mm,
my prayer, like I when I am finally, I feel like breaking into the industry, I want to blast. I want to
right.
get to a place where not only do I make quality work, but I also am known to be a quality person. Like I
Wow.
hope that people, behind my back, people can say good things about me and the environments I create and the sets that
Mhm.
I, curate and the people I have around me in my personal and professional life. So all of that to say that I've just put in a lot of groundwork. Like I feel like I have been really my 20s has been building the foundation,
Mhm.
building and fostering the connections and the friendships I'm making, getting a
Mhm.
community of rising artists with me, but people who love me for me. People my
Right.
friends have blessed me in so many ways, whether it's a word,
Oh.
whether it's a finances,
Mhm.
whether it's just coming over and watching a movie with me. Like I just really fostered a community since I was in acting school. And
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
since graduating from acting, like I spent 9 months in Kentucky doing an apprenticeship at the Actors Theater of Louisville, where I got another community of actors and writers and directors, and then and mentors. And then I recently did the Hillman Grad Mentorship Lab. I was in the first
Yeah.
class of that Lena Waithe, founded,
Mhm.
and like some of my favorite people on this planet
Love
came from
that.
those things, and it's just crazy, and they're so talented. Like so talented where I'm
Mhm.
just like, wow, I am just like in the midst of such hardworking, passionate artists. So it's giving me a community.
Mhm.
It's just I don't know how many hours I've spent writing these scripts, but I know they're good. I know
Right.
they're really good, and they're only going to get better. And what I do love about me as an artist is that I'm genuinely having a great time when I'm writing and
Mhm.
when I'm acting. Don't get me wrong. There have also been times where I'm like, I need 2 months off, or like I need a break. I can't because I don't know how to finish Act Two. I don't know how to fix it, and this is never going to get made, and I'm
Right.
not good at this. But it always comes around, and like the
Mm,
way I have seen, even like I'm writing I'm on like the eighth draft of my feature screenplay right now,
love it.
and I'm just like, even though no one, some people have read it. Some people in the industry, like execs, have read it and stuff like that. But
Mm,
like, and a lot of my friends have read it. But it's like,
mm,
I am literally writing the movie I want to see in the world, and I can't
mm.
believe that like God chose me as the vessel to even create such like something I'm so passionate about. I've never
Wow.
worked on anything so hard in my life.
Wow.
So it's just taught me how much like writing has taught me how much I love this, how much like I have no doubt in my mind that this is what I'll be doing for the rest of my life.
Oh,
And then acting is just acting. I love acting too. Acting feels
mm,
like flying. When I'm in like a
wow.
scene with a good actor, another good
Mm,
actor, and like we're really sparring and really like connected to the material and connected to each other and present, it feels like I'm flying. Like, I can do that. I know that I'll do film and TV eventually someday, but
mm.
I like have such a love for theater. There's nothing like, also I'm a perfectionist and I like having to get it right the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So it just truly feels like flying. So honestly, acting and writing has just taught me how to really love something and to really tend to something
Mm,
in my life and to really dedicate my life to it. Because there have been so many times where I'm like, I could have a salary job. I'm a very smart, capable
mm-hmm.
person, but I have known that I've wanted to do this since I was 4. So it's like been
Wow.
times where I'm like, God, what's the point? Like, why did you even put me through this if I can't
Mm.
afford
Right.
to
Right.
go to
No.
the deli? Why am I here?
Right.
But it's like my purpose, like I have to walk my purpose. I have to walk my path out.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think I answered your question.
You did. And
Okay,
first
cool.
of all, I was I was going to ask you about the Hillman Grad Mentorship Lab because I
Yeah.
noticed that you were on the writing track. And so I was
Yeah.
going to ask you if, like, what did you prefer? Like, do you prefer writing over acting, or like,
I
what was your
I
theme?
I cannot compare the two because honestly, there's both such big parts of my life
Mm-hmm.
that I cannot compare. Acting, like I just said, feels like flying. There's a
Mm-hmm.
high you get from being on stage that
Mm-hmm.
is unlike any other.
Mm-hmm.
But the hard thing about I also feel like I'm screaming. Okay, let me know. You can
No,
let me know.
you're projecting, and it's
It's giving
beautiful.
very much theater education, yes. Um, but where acting is, there's so much rejection. When I say there is so much rejection, mind you, I've been blessed to have representation at a pretty early start,
Mm-hmm.
get really amazing auditions, like in film,
Mm-hmm.
TV, and theater,
Mm-hmm.
book every once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
like, but it's still so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's even with all of that, it's so difficult. There are droughts. I'm in a drought right now. Well, obviously with the strikes, but also even with
Mm-hmm.
theater, like auditions, honestly, like it's been slow for me. And
Mm-hmm.
like it's hard. It's really hard because, like I said, especially when you lose parts and you get close to parts where you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I could have done this in my sleep.
Right, right.
I could have soared. That would have changed my
Mhm,
life. And it's like, actually, you don't know what they could have done, but you didn't get it because it wasn't yours for whatever
mhm,
reason.
mm,
All that to say, acting can be very frustrating in the sense of the rejection. What I love about writing is, don't get me wrong, I am trying to do writing professionally, so there has been rejection there and
mhm,
detours. However, you can always write. You can
mm,
always better that. You can
right,
always, and as an actor, yeah, you can take classes. You can, get some monologues, study some monologues with with your friends. You can do all of
mhm,
that. But like with writing, it's like I can keep exploring this story that I'm writing and keep making this better. So
yeah,
that can just constantly feed me, even
mhm,
if nothing professionally is going on.
mhm,
So I can't honestly with the acting apprenticeship I did in Kentucky and with Hillman grad, I feel like I
mhm.
got a free. Well, I paid in some ways, but that's a different story. I felt like I got free grad school. Honestly, I felt
Okay,
like Louisville was grad school for theater acting, like learning how to work professionally in a theater, and
mhm, mhm,
then and then Hillman was just felt like grad school. Like we created our own pilots. Um,
mhm,
we created our own pilots by the end, and I just felt like that was like dipping my foot in like Hollywood and like
Mhm.
writing for the screen, which I'm so excited to do. Oh my god, I cannot wait to write for
Oh,
TV.
love
But yeah,
that. I love that. First of all, one of my favorite things in the world is to like witness people in their like lane, to witness people in their purpose, and like this is definitely yours. And I love that you know that. I love that you're so conscious of it. And I love that you are willing to walk the journey while being present during it. You being real with yourself, like, no, like it's hard knocks, but you are present with it. And I think, and it's crazy because, like, literally earlier, I was like reading the Bible earlier, and something I never ever realized about Jesus was like, even though you know it, you know how when you find out a different thing.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So I'm reading, and he basically, like, he just got done performing a miracle, being himself, being great, and
yeah,
somebody found something to hate on. But
yeah,
he wasn't like surprised at it. He was like, "Oh no, I knew y'all was gonna leave. Bye." And then he turned
yeah,
around, he was like, "Y'all gonna leave too? Oh, all right, okay." And like, like I just love how like he literally knew the journey, was willing to walk through it,
yeah.
and knew all that it encompassed, only
Mhm.
because he knew that it was a greater end. And I was like, dang, how
Yeah,
many of us are really willing to like actually like walk out the journey and not just focus on the destination?
exactly.
And I feel like you're doing that like so well. Like you're in the journey and you
I'm in
walking it.
it. I'm
You
in
in
it.
it.
I don't know if I'm doing it super well, but I definitely am in it.
You in it. You're
Cause I'll be real, my attitude be nasty sometimes. My attitude be, and don't get me wrong. I've been a a host slash server for the last like year and a half, almost 2 years, and that has like God has really used that to just mature me to strengthen my
mm.
character. Cause I used to have a bad attitude at these customer service jobs, and God
Girl,
has had to no, God has had to be like, no, I'm not going to give you none of these blessings until
Mhm.
you learn how to look at the person in front of you.
Mhm.
And if they can't do anything for you, you can still say hello to them. You can still ask them about
Love
their day.
that.
You can still. So
Hmm.
it's humbling, but it's also like, wow, you know what? Thank you, God, for loving me enough to mature my character before I even get to where we're trying
Right.
to go. So I'm not a
Yep. No, for real.
insert the word. You know what I
No,
mean?
for real. Underline. For real.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's crazy because one of my favorite quotes is, they say like one of the, I forgot how it goes, but basically like the character of a man is how he treats people he doesn't need. And the fact
Exactly.
that you like are learning that, like you learned that, top tier
Because it's
character.
like, get over
Top
yourself.
tier.
Who are
Right.
you? Who are you?
Right.
Who are you, Josh? I can flip all of this. I can flip all of this. God can flip all of it. So you better humble yourself now so I don't have to do it in front of thousands and
Thousands of
millions
people.
looking all embarrassed. Yeah, go home.
Look at all embarrassed.
Looking
Go home with
embarrassed.
your
Go home and
embarrassed
think
self.
about what you've done. So you know what? Let me learn these lessons where ain't nobody thinking about me. They don't care.
I love you, first of all. I'm crying. But it's like,
I'll be dead serious.
what, looking embarrassed. Like,
And I didn't even want to have to embarrass you, but now I'm gonna embarrass you.
but now I'm good because you ain't learned your
Cause
lesson.
you cause you cause you silly.
Oh my gosh. I told y'all it was going to be shenanigans.
Yeah,
Because
this is
if anybody cracks me up consistently, it's Josh. Like, period.
we are goofy. We are goofy together. We just roasting each other all the time.
Yes. Yes.
It's
I
all
love
good.
it. It's so love. It's all love. But that's like so decent though, because it really is like in obscurity that we develop like the strongest parts of ourselves.
And
Cause
honestly, thank God. Thank God.
no, for real. Cause like you said, being in front of millions of people and embarrassing yourself because of something you could have learned before and something you can just fix with a little, and you refusing, now you're getting embarrassed.
I don't know. See, I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to do it.
No, I'm gonna fix this now.
I'm gonna fix
I
this
got
now.
you. I love that. I really do. Um, so you talked a little bit just about community, and I love community, and I think it's one of the most important things we can have as human beings. I mean, God Himself is three in one, so like
Oh,
we need people
okay.
around us. So
Yes.
I'm like I love that. I'm an advocate for that. And I love how you embrace that and know the importance of that. So, your friends, because we shout out friends here in the cafe because friends are literally love. Okay, they're a blessing. Um, how has your journey in New York, because you've been there since you were 18,
Yeah.
and this is like a movie, this is like a real movie. You're living a movie.
I don't know what genre it is. Sometimes it gives rom com. Sometimes it gives Get Out.
Not get out. Oh, and we can talk about that. You
I'm being
know,
silly. I'm being silly. I'm being silly. But yes, 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 yes.
but
A
yeah,
lot of adventures, a lot of moments, a lot of memories. Yes.
mhm. I love that. So within like, you navigating your way through like living in New York, following bravely after what you've known you wanted to do since you were okay, a little peony in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what has or I know I asked you what has acting taught you, but what has just like going after something that you love and that you know is what you want to do in a place like New York. What has that experience been like in you know, the Big Apple?
It has taught me one. I feel like a lot of time we are like, oh, we think about I can't chase my dream because this will have to happen. I have to do this. I have to do that, and I got kids, and also this and that. And let me tell you something. I have never known what it's like to have money. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been some seasons where I had a little bit more, but to really have disposable income and really like be out here like doing the things, all the things I think I want to do, or the things I really do want to do,
Hmm.
the fact that I've been able to support myself in New York and listen, after Louisville, I
Mm,
spent 6 months, maybe even a little bit longer, um, going between New York and Jersey to
hmm.
my parents' house. And then I stopped being at my parents' house. But even when I was still in New York for those 6 months, I was either sleeping on my friends'
Mm.
couches, multiple friends. I lived at all my close friends, all
For
my
real?
college friends' couch. They all
I
lived
love
with me.
that.
But I was good to live with. They can all attest.
Right.
But when I had to leave, they were like, "You can stay longer." So don't come for me.
Good guess.
But
Good guess.
but in working a full-time job and subletting places, but God has really always sustained me. Like I've
Mm,
always been able to eat. I've always, even if it was a dollar slice, even if it was that 4 for 4 got me through college. I'm serious. That Wendy's, like, truly.
talk about the fast food ministry. No, for real.
No, for real. Doing God's work. It really did get me through college. So it really, God's faithfulness has really been revealed to me through just this journey of just living in New York, but community.
Hmm.
My friends, I mean, like, give me so much joy. Like, I call a lot of my friends my soulmates because it really feels like that. Like,
Love
I've
that.
never been in a serious romantic relationship, but
Mhm.
my friends, they do supply just such a intimacy, such a love, I mean, they just really ride for me. They really uplift me. I never have to worry about them saying crazy things about me,
Mhm.
but I never worry about that. Like, I just feel so covered and blessed. And it's funny because so often I'm like, oh, I have never known what it's like to be rich, but it's like so many people are rich and don't know who to trust. And it's
Mhm.
like, Josh, you are rich. You're so rich in this way. You're rich in community. You're rich in love. I if I was to tell you all the times people have blessed me since I came to college to today, like
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
would be here forever. So we would be here all
Wow.
day. So, um, yeah, community has kept me alive, literally, figuratively, spiritually, emotionally, mentally,
Wow.
and also I got friends who want to tell me the truth. You could
Right.
do this better. You could do
Right.
that. Stop being so hard on yourself.
Mhm.
But also
Mhm.
this. But
Mhm.
so it's like, and they don't, and
Mhm.
I receive it because they don't say it with any malintent.
Right. It's
Um,
love.
yeah, it's love. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. Just being here has really taught me that like I really can do this. I really can. I have all the support I need. I have all the tools to get where
Mhm.
I need to go, even if it doesn't feel like it. You know.
Wow. That's so profound, Josh. It really is. You're helping somebody. Come on.
Girl.
Listen. I'm here for it. I know you're like, no, but I'm really in it though. But listen, I'm like, no, but Josh is so magical. But you're like,
No, I
I'm
receive it. I
committed.
really do. I receive it. I do think it's magical, and I'm really trying to learn how to see the magic now. Because if I don't see them, I don't even want to talk about where I want to go, and we know, but like I really
Mhm.
want to learn how to like enjoy life now. And I think I
Mhm.
have moments where I do, and it can
Mhm.
last
Mhm.
for a good chunk, and then I have moments where I'm ungrateful, and I have moments where I'm like,
Yeah.
this I what,
Right.
but I want to know what it's like to like even in my hard times to sincerely wake up and like choose life, choose joy, because it's a choice. It's a
It is
choice.
no, it's certainly a choice. Yeah, I believe that too.
And don't get me wrong, it could be hard to choose that because life can get so ghetto. Life can get ghetto, and I've been very blessed because even the things that some of my friends have experienced, I'm like, wow, I've been very covered, and I have
Right.
nothing to complain about.
Right.
But it's
Thank
also like you do have things to complain about, but also like even with those complaints, find the gratitude,
yeah.
eh, find a way to make it beautiful, and it's
Mhm.
not easy, but you figure it out. Unless you want to be miserable,
Unless
but
you
but
want to be
I don't want that for us,
right,
y'all.
right,
We don't deserve to be miserable. We get one life.
right.
Let's make the most of it.
Literally. So like along with like just obviously like finding the joys and like the gratefulness and the grace like in your journey, like we talked about, there are hardships. So what is one project that you were working on that challenged you the most mentally or just like emotionally? Oh, I like the little think dance.
Yeah, I got like a little jingle in my head. It was cute.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, back to this movie I'm writing.
Mm. Mhm. Talk about it.
I I've never worked with anything harder, and I'm a hard worker. Like I listen, I worked hard to get into the college I wanted to get into. I worked hard to be in the shows when I was in college. I worked hard to get into these apprenticeships, these blah blah blah. Blah.
Mhm.
But like this movie, because I know
Mhm.
my friends who have read this movie have been like,
Mhm.
also let me stop gassing it before it comes out and no one sees it. But anyway,
No, and they will
and
all
it
run
flops.
to see
God
it.
forbid, God forbid.
No, they
But
will all run to see it.
but yeah, they will. You're right. You're right. They will all run.
Yes.
That's just my Capricorn way of being like, okay, I don't think I'm all of that. I'm sorry. I'm just speaking my truth. I think it's gonna. Anyway, um, this movie has just been. It's just such. It's coming from my heart, and it's so funny because at a certain point, I realized that and of course, I knew that the lead character was a version of me, and it's a version of a lot of
Mhm.
people. But I was like, he like the lesson he learns in the film, I'm learning in life.
Wow.
So
Mhm.
I just know, I just have a gut feeling that this movie is going to mean something to whoever's supposed to mean something to,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it's been hard, not always feeling the support from people you want to feel support with, and
Mhm.
not and or just like wanting the industry because it has been sent out, uh, you know to different execs from different companies to read it, and like great things have happened, like I've gotten great conversations from that, but like
Yeah.
not feeling like I want things to move as fast as it's supposed to.
Mhm.
And then just the act of writing it and the science of writing it, because
Yeah.
I really feel like, and shout out to Hillman Grad because they also just taught me how to write, but like
Period.
working on this movie has really taught me about structure, because I can
Mm.
write great dialogue. I can write a vivid world. Like that is never that's natural for me as a writer. But like
Mhm.
having to really learn the science behind it so you can really sell something so it can really hit the way it's supposed to, and realizing that like yes, you're writing this in your voice, but
Mhm.
also you have to realize that not everybody's going to understand your voice on paper. So how do you stay authentic to you, but also how do you write something that how do you write it in a way that everybody can understand it,
Mhm. Mhm.
but it can still be authentic and it can still be genuine, it can still be, you know, you.
Mhm.
um and then there were times, every single act one, act two, act three, at different times
Mhm.
was just kicking my butt. I didn't there were each act, and honestly several times in each act it was like I don't know where to go, and that's because I didn't have
Mhm.
the structure. So I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, oh my God, is this ever going to get made? Or, oh, you
Mhm.
see a trailer for a movie that comes out, you're like, oh, they already got my idea.
Mhm.
There's no point. Why am I doing this? I'm so deep
Mhm.
in this, but like, there's no point because I'm not even gonna be able to sell it. And it's like,
Mhm.
I just really have had to through the ups. It's felt like a marriage. It's felt like giving birth. Although, of course, y'all know I'm a man. I do not know what it is to give birth. I'm not comparing it to that. I'm not comparing it to
Right.
that pain at all. I'm
Right.
just saying it has
Right.
been gut wrenching in its own
Right.
way.
Right.
That is all I'm saying.
Right.
Um, you got to get a disclaimer out because I would never try to play y'all like that.
No.
But it
No.
has
You
just
got
felt like
it.
it has come like when this movie does, whenever it comes, whether it's 2 years, 5 years, 10 years,
Mhm.
20. I just
Mhm.
know it's going to come from my soul. And I very early on, I prayed. I was like, God, I want this script. It's a teen comedy, but I want this script
Mhm.
to be unlike anything else. Like, I want people
Mhm.
to watch this movie and be like, they didn't really have to go that hard on this. Like, they didn't. This could have just been whatever. But I wanted to be
Mhm.
so intentional, and I wanted to be so specific to my culture and to my
Mhm.
people, to me, to the kids I grew up with.
Mhm.
And then I was wondering why it was so hard to write. And it was like, because you're not writing something that's fast and easy.
Right.
That's why it has to marinate. You have to
Mhm.
have some more experiences. You have to meet this person to give you this
Mhm.
note.
Mhm.
So I've been writing this since Christmas Day 2019.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
almost 4 years.
Mhm.
And who knows how much longer I'm gonna be writing it. But it's been the hardest thing because I've never cared so much about something I was making.
Wow, I love that. First of all, thank you for giving it to us on the cafe first, because
Period.
when it's,
All right, because they're gonna look back and be like, "Ooh, he been talking about
exactly,
this movie."
because I'm reposted. Okay,
Yes, yes, and you
okay,
should.
I'm gonna be like, no, he was here first. Okay,
Y'all got the exclusive.
we got not we et, we got the exclusive.
E.T.
We got it. First, first of all, I appreciate like that insight, because I think a lot of times as people who just enjoy the arts, we don't get the science and the methodology behind like writing or anything like that. So that was like super insightful, because I'm like, oh wait, because no, you got to actually know how to actually structure
No.
it.
I
Like,
said one time to my friend, I was like, writing is easy. Good writing is excruciating. You can
mm,
write something down on a page or on your laptop. But
right,
to
right,
get people to be like,
yeah.
what is this? And to get them,
Hmm.
my favorite, I've gotten this so many times, thank God,
Hmm.
it's my favorite, one of my favorite compliments
Hmm.
is, before I looked up, I was on page 30. Yes. Like, because I know that every time I have read something that I really
Hmm.
love, I'm flying through. I'm flying
Yeah,
through.
you
I,
don't care about the,
I don't care if
yeah.
reading James Baldwin, flying through,
Hmm.
reading a good article, flying through. I'm reading The Devil Wears
Hmm.
Prada right now, flying through. Reading
Love
Cicely
the
Tyson
devil.
memoir, reading Jennifer Lewis's memoir, flying through. So
Hmm.
I just really appreciate when somebody's reading my work. It's like this doesn't feel like work. I'm just here
Mm.
with the characters.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I
That's
don't know
beautiful.
how we got there, but yeah,
It's okay. We flow through because it's natural, you
it's
know?
you're right.
It's
It's
natural.
natural. It's
See?
natural.
It's not forced. It's natural.
Period.
So also, I was gonna ask you, and this is just also to help like other people who are like into the arts and even just life in general. I was watching something, one of like my favorite preachers in the whole world. He's so down to earth, but his name is Darius Daniels, and he talks about like us having a rejection plan, like when things don't go right in our lives, and like
Mhm.
how do we respond to rejection, and like what are the things that we do to help us, navigate that. So
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, because you spoke about rejection earlier, do you have a rejection plan, or what are ways that you have gotten through, rejection?
Rejection used to really mess me up. Like I used to really have temper tantrums, and not all the time, but when I really cared about something. And this is I'm talking about my very early days, like just out of school, just out of that early apprenticeship, like just like
Mhm.
being a brat. Why didn't I get this? Why didn't the cursing got out? Like it's like,
Mhm.
bro, like it's
Mhm.
just not time yet. But you got the audition.
Right.
Um, and since then, like back to when I said like I was just tired of being miserable. It's like, bro, you
Mhm.
gonna let the fact that you didn't get this ruin your whole week? And
Mhm.
now I'm been trying to think. Karamo from Queer Eye was like, I was listening to a podcast that he was on, and he was
Mhm.
like, um, every no is a stepping stone to your yes.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
now it just when I hear a no, honestly, it makes me hungrier. It like
Mhm.
it gives me more fuel to put into when I get that yes, because at this point I'm like I've heard no so many times. When I get to that yes, I'm
Mhm.
I'm going crazy with the opportunity. Whether it's
Right.
writing, whether it's acting, whether it's both, I don't care.
I'm
I just
fully.
like
Yeah.
and also I'm just so much more ready to, at the very least, like work consistently and like
Mhm.
really try to break in where I can really start maneuvering
Yeah.
consistently as an artist and pay my bills as an artist. That's like I can't afford to like not take up an opportunity for and give my all and be the best version of myself.
Mhm.
And be somebody, and that's why I decided to work on my character, because I also need to be somebody people want to work with.
Right. Right.
And I really feel like I have grown so much as an artist and as a person,
Mhm.
that now I'm just like, all right, like let me just use this as hunger. Let me use this as thirst to like to keep going harder, to keep. And I've seen, oh my god, my auditions are getting more consistent. They're getting better. Like whether it's on tape, whether it's in person. I'm not as nervous when I go into rooms now. I'm not as
Mhm.
nervous because when I was first auditioning, it was like I was getting them my own way. I knew the lines, but then I would like
Mhm.
fumble just because it's like I'm around people. And now it's like you
Mhm.
are prepared.
Right.
Give them your take of the character, and whatever
Mhm.
is supposed to happen is going to happen. And a really good friend of mine, York Walker, who's got a play going up at Roundabout called Covenant
Okay.
in October, November. Shout out to York.
Period. Shout out
Um,
to York.
Shout out to York. He was like, it's not about booking the job; it's about booking the room. And my thing is like, you
Mm.
gotta
I love
people
that.
gonna remember you regardless. Sometimes you may just be too short for the character. It can be that
Mm.
simple, and it may be
Okay.
perfect for you otherwise. But it's like no, like God, the universe has a better plan for you.
Mhm.
It's just holding on to like, you know what? I want something that is tailor made for me. You know, I want a part that's tailored that nobody else could have played except me. Like I have to play it. So if that means I get some no's in the process, I get some no's in the process. Oh, these people read my script and maybe they even liked it, but they are turning it down for whatever reason. Maybe they're just not looking for that type of script right now. Okay, then you're going to get the production company that's tailor made for this project.
Right.
And
Right.
I would rather hear the no's and wait it out than, get the wrong opportunity or, an opportunity at the wrong time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I first of all, because I believe like just that God really has tailor made our lives, and that I don't think it's random like at all. I think he specifically had us in mind and was like, Josh is made to reach these people. He's going to do that with this. I'm going to bless him with these qualities, with this amazing gift, with this character, and he going to pop. And that's how it's
Yeah.
going to be.
No,
And
for real.
I love that because I think a lot of times, like you were saying, we can allow rejection to throw us off the box and then we forget the bigger picture. But
Yeah.
I like how you were saying, like, you're going to let this ruin your week.
Yeah,
And
I'm
also,
just tired of it. It's just like,
yeah,
oh my God.
yeah,
Like I just don't want to do it no more. I don't want to
right.
do it. It's
Right.
boring. It's a boring.
Yeah. And
It's
then
just like
also,
you feel heavy.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. And then it was also like, what's for me is for me. And the doors that God opened up, nobody can
You
shut.
can't shut
And
it.
period. You don't even got the key. You can't shut. You can't
Right. You don't know where it is.
don't know where it's at, boo.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
so
literally.
it's hidden from you on purpose. So
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. And I love what you were saying just about community. I love how you are prioritizing your mental health. And I love how authentic and transparent and how invested you are, because a lot of people quit before they see it. And a lot of people get tired in the midst of it. This was cute.
Yeah.
But like your perseverance, it's admirable, and I just want you to know that. And I want you to know, first of all, you're welcome back to the cafe. Let me just put that out there. Okay.
You're saying I'm welcome. I can come back.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay. and
cousin.
and
Yes.
listen, I'm telling you, but I mean like
Yes.
the Grammy Josh, the EGOT Josh, like all.
Well, when Cafe with Carolyn is on TV, I want to also be invited. And I wanted to say, cousin, I wanted to say I'm so proud of you. First of all, one, this whole setup is giving. Like it's just
Okay.
like it just looks like it already. You're in very early stages, but it already looks clean, and you look so beautiful, and
Thank
like your energy is
you.
everything. And you
Thank
know
you.
I bust on you all the time, but like I
Yeah.
love you. You're my favorite. I love you so
Thank you.
much.
You're my favorite
And
too.
yeah, and I'm so proud. This looks so right. It makes so much
Aw.
sense. I'm so happy to have been here. Thank you.
Yes. First, I got it right here, Josh. You answer all my questions.
Thank
like,
you.
like you are so amazing, and you made the cafe even brighter. So
Oh,
thank you so much for
thank you,
visiting.
cousin. Of course, I love you. I'm only on Instagram, but it's
Mhm.
two underscores underscore I am Josh. IAMJOSH. Period. That's me. I be on
Yes.
there sometimes.
I be on there sometimes.
Sometimes.
That might be the caption to this. I be on there sometimes.
On this. Literally.
I love you so much, and thank
I
you
love you
so
too.
much for visiting the cafe.